Hello, traders. Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, January the 13th. The year is 2026. Let's talk trading. Trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal. And while trading, make sure your risk management is in place so you don't lose more than you're willing to lose while you are trading. So we're going to jump right in here and take a look at the screen, the charts, and see what we've got. Hey, we're in the launch pad, Walmall. We can get one more red bar on the price action score count. Might take a long here. In fact, we got a flip-flop box in the making, and the price action score on M5 is 4, and on M6 is, or rather on M15 is 6. What do you see?
I see a market. It's kind of interesting that we had that big push up from the news event at 8:30 Eastern time, and it ran up like 40 pips or something like that, including the wick above it, and then it's we always going to say that it likes to go and go back to the open, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before it gets to the open, it likes to get to that midpoint, and we languished in that midpoint for looks like probably about 10, 10 minutes or so, maybe even longer than that. Let me actually measure it. Yeah, we landed in that midpoint area for about 10 minutes, and then finally it broke through. And when it broke through, not only did it break through that midpoint, it broke through the open. Again, it languished in the open, and then it just at this point in time, it's fallen another 10, 12 pips off of the open.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just shows you those return bars, they have significance, and you can make a living going and trading off the return bars. And look at them, people. It doesn't mean just because you get a return bar, you immediately take the trade. But what it does mean is that, hey, I got a bias in this direction. Do I have a reason to take the trade? In other words, whatever my normal standard method for entry is, that lining up with it. So for me, what that means, I want to flip flop. I want to go below the EMA fives. And if I get that condition, I want to go short. So I did go short, and I went short at 69.7. And I'm still in that trade. So I'm up 25 pips on the trade right now. And it's like, you know, as long as I don't get a close above the EMA five, I'm just going to stay in it.
Well, are you talking
And
the M1 or the M5 EMA5?
I'm looking at the 5 minute EMA five.
Okay.
That's what I'm using right now. So I'm up 25 pips on that trade, which is not a bad day's work. We're just jumping in and taking it, letting it run. It's not my normal way of trading, but at the same time, it's certainly not outside what I do. So that's the reason I did what I did.
Yeah, I got a hankering to put a short on the dollar yen to hit 159 and fell back.
Right now, against all the big, I haven't checked in an hour or so, but an hour ago anyway, all the U.S. was strong against all the major currencies. I don't know what it is right now. Like I said, I haven't checked in an hour. U.S. dollar has been strong all day, um, and so that tells you or indicates to you, hey, for me anyway, on the pound dollar, you're expecting this thing to drop maybe further, and the reason why is because our range for the day so far is only 52 pips. And yesterday we had 95. The only caveat I would have on that is the fact that um, we've had a lot of days since the beginning of the year, a lot of days that sat here and had range for the entire day between like 50 and 60. So that could be a little bit of a a hedge against what I just said. But trade what you see, right? And you
Exactly.
see, and that's just what you got to do. And just trade what you see, and that means, hey, I got a bias to go that way. That doesn't mean it's going to go that way. It just means I have a bias in that direction. So, for instance, 3-4 minutes ago, we had another flip flop box. If you would have gone short at 50, you would have been up 8 pips on that trade. Not bad work for 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. You just gotta keep on trading what you see and do it. And then the thing is, it's like the old axiom. Once you learn how to do it, the reality is, rinse, wash, repeat. And that's what you got to do. Rinse, wash, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
With this type of trading, we're not long-term traders. We're not even mid-term traders. We're short-term traders. And maybe even approaching on the idea of scalping. But if you're going to go and do that, is you're not looking to get 20 pip wins. You're looking to get the short wins. I say all that after I just said I'm up 25 pips on another trade. Well, I was looking at that from the perspective of I was going in looking for the break of the midpoint, and I was going to run it to the open, and then I was going to stay in the trade as long as I stayed under the 5-minute EMA 5. So I didn't breach my rule set, so I stayed in it, and I'm still in it. So that's how I trade. Some people say I'm confusing. That's okay. To each their own.
Right. And so yes, so those 4 red bars, which also had a flip flop box right here, that looks like could have probably picked up about 2 pips on that trade. And so you say, why would you take that trade? Well, because you're below both of the indicator 2s, and M1 is below M5. So it's like everything is saying bias short, bias short. But, as you like to say, price has to breathe, and it took a little breath there. And so long as it's like, hey, if I take that trade and it's moving slow, and I get a pip or 2, I'm out, because you saw what happened. You had a nice 3 pip drop there. Now that 3 pipper is not a return bar.
No, 3 pips is not a return bar.
Not on M1.
No, for me anyway, on an M1 for a return bar, I want usually 6-7 pips, as a minimum. That's what I consider a return bar. I know that some people would go and say a return bar is at 5 pips. To me that's a little bit close. I want a little bit more than that. So because I had a friend once who used to go and say that on the pound dollar, you can sneeze 3 pips. Meaning that something just happens someplace in the world, and a couple of people react to it. Next thing you know, or the other thing, something doesn't even have to happen. A large corporation needs to go and clear a bunch of money from one currency to the next currency, and dumps, who knows how many lots out there to get that currency change, and it was type of thing where all it's going to happen is it's going to move 3 pips, 4 pips.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on the very next bar, the market settles it in, and it winds up going right back to where it was.
Right. Now we did have one 9 bars ago. We did have a 6.3 M1. So, and that open is at 48.7. So we can look to see if price wants to go back to that level or not. So now we've got a price action score of count of 6 right here on M1, on M5 6, on M15 6. So it's almost screaming a reversal at the bottom of the hour. What I'm looking at.
and it's only a minute away, minute and a half away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's a lot. Call me crazy, but a lot of times I like to go at the change of the 30-minute, just take a trade. If I see a reason to take a trade, I like to take it, in the last few seconds of that candle, of that 30-minute candle, because a lot of times what the 30-minute candle will do is, let's say it's actually going to go dump further down. A lot of times before it dumps further down, it goes up by a pip or two, then turns around. So you can just go and jump in, get a pip or two, and just get out. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens more times than not. So, like this current 30-minute, it didn't happen, but the previous one it did. And the previous one before that it did. So you win some, you lose some.
And that's why we have a stop loss.
Exactly. Just got to do that. You win 60% of the time. Shoot, Vegas, they kill for those odds.
I know.
So, the problem is, we as retail traders, we're not very good at controlling our emotion. We don't control our emotion very well. We don't control our stop losses, very well. And next thing you know, we put ourselves at risk when we shouldn't have.
Yeah, and I was going to say, that's the reason maybe to have an EA that every time you put a trade on, it automatically puts a stop loss out there for you.
Yep, exactly. Exactly right. I used to have an EA that did that for me. I don't currently use it, but I probably should, don't do that, create an EA or use that EA again that does that.
Okay, and we got to move to the downside here.
Yep.
So you're still making some pips on that trade.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're 5 pips away from that EMA 5.
Yeah. And as I said to you, Tiaro, earlier, I need to boogie out of here right after this video. So I may get out right around now, and that would put me at 33 pips right now. Actually, now 30 pips because it ran up, but that's not bad. Just sitting here on this video, win another 5 pips for me.
Mm-hmm.
See what it does, but we are in your, we're now on the underside of your launch pad that you like to talk about.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that we all of a sudden start getting some closes about above the 1 minute EMA 5. It'd probably be a good place to go long, maybe pick up some pips, because when it does launch from there, it'll launch 5 to 10 pips easy.
And we'll just have to wait and see.
And now we have a range for the day of 59 pips. So other than that 195 pip day over the last week, when I say the last week, the last 5 trading days, that's the biggest day.
Right.
And remember that 95 was just yesterday.
Yeah.
And who knows why it did that yesterday. I mean, it's bigger than the range that we had on NFP day, which is kind of surprising. Long gone are the NFP days of 200, 300 pips, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Kind of missed those days. Well, you know what, traders? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is just about over. So if you've got any questions for us, let us know if you're curious about, what we're doing when we're trading. Because I know there was one trader said they wanted to see a live trading video. So, when I make these videos, things are live, but still have to work on that, doing a live broadcast like we did in the old days. So, fellow traders, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.